Gears of War E-Day, a new Gears prequel revealed. Microsoft officially confirms a new entry in the series is coming. During the Xbox Game Showcase, Microsoft officially announced the next entry in the Gears series, and it's going back in time. Gears E-Day, as it's called, is coming to Xbox and PC in the future. Of all the biggest reveals at the Xbox Game Showcase 2024, this was arguably the biggest, and Xbox saved it for last. The announcement is good news for fans who wanted to see the series continue, even if it may be going in the opposite direction on the timeline compared to what fans may have expected. The cinematic trailer shows a young Marcus Phoenix struggling with a single locust, something he's not prone to doing in the later games, but this a greener, less experienced Marcus. In the end, he overcomes thanks to his best bud Dom before the pair look out into the distance to see all hell breaking loose during Emergence Day, or the day where the locusts emerged from beneath the planet and went to war with humanity. The studio said that E-Day has long been the heart of the Gears universe, and so in building for the future, it looked to Gears past. The game takes place 14 years before the original Gears of War story. This also means some of the weapons will call back to the war's earlier versions, like a lancer without the iconic chainsaw that is instead equipped with a bayonet. However, the game is a story of many origins, teased the studio, so it seems we'll see the birth of the chainsawed lancer during the campaign. The game also harkens back to the old days with a small nod to Gary Jules' Mad World cover, a song which has been linked to Gears of War ever since a memorable trailer featured the song over 15 years ago. The series, which has forever been tied closely to the Unreal Engine, will naturally be built in Unreal Engine 5. There's not yet a release date for the game. So let's look at comments. Um, so sort by best or upvotes. Joe Coolin goes, "This was the best thing they could have done. The series took a serious downturn. The characters were getting weak, the story was okay at times, but the entirety of the Gears 5 campaign gameplay was built around a horde mode style and it was terrible. It made zero sense because that's not how things work in a story. All combat scenarios started and ended the same way. Bringing back Dom and Marcus together is exactly what was needed. Now, hopefully, they change the gameplay formula. I don't want horde mode built into my campaign." C-Boy C18 goes, "The problem is that I highly doubt that devs can reproduce the gritty atmosphere from the original games, let alone the testosterone-fueled dialogue. We're not in the 90s, early 2000s anymore." And Joe Cullen says, "It looks really gritty so far, very similar to the original. The dialogue doesn't have to be an exact replica, but they did stay true to Marcus' character all the way through. I don't see that changing. The story should be a more intense and personal one. You can't expect it to be exactly the same. It's the origin story. It's what we always heard referenced about but never got to see. Dom and Marcus were young and hadn't grown into the hardened badass cog vets that we knew from the OG trilogy. You have to manage your expectations. Of course, it can end up bad and they could butcher it completely, but I think they'll do Dom and Marcus justice at the very least." So, what do you think of Gears of War E-Day coming out? Hello?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
What do you think of Gears of War E-Day?
Oh yes, I saw the trailer of it back during the Server Games Fest, especially with the Xbox Game Showcase. Yeah, it looks brutal in the trailer. You see Marcus beating the crap out of a locust and all, but he still stood in there, and then all of a sudden Dom came in and helped him out. It's good. And even though it's not a gameplay trailer, the story itself, you know that's going to be interesting. It'll be action packed. There's going to be lots of gore, especially with the chainsaw gun they're going to introduce later in the campaign at this rate. Because obviously, like you said, in the article, time when you read an article, it was like the beginning post with the lancet, and the machine gun. That's about it. But later in the campaign, the chainsaw. So, but to have the attachments like chainsaw, flamethrower, shotgun, maybe built into the
Well,
rifle.
they said the Lancer will more likely have a bayonet instead of a chainsaw.
I think later in the campaign they're gonna have the chainsaw, right? No.
Well, no, they said this is gonna be back, since this is going back in time for 14 years before the original Gears of War. Some of the weapons aren't gonna be as advanced as they were in the Gears of War games that we love.
Okay. Yeah. And it's going to feature the young Marcus. So
young Marcus and Dom. Yep. I don't know if Cole or
get
Patrick
that
is going to be there. Probably. They'll probably
right.
join up some point.
You might see like a sequence, like they do with Gears 3, where it's like Coltrane had his moments back there right before E-Day. Like he was playing for a football game or whatever, and you see him like screaming and like woo, dancing and shit. And all of a sudden, the locals come out of nowhere in the middle of the game. You know that type of shit. I'd be nice to see something like that.
Yeah.
That woo, and that the Coltrane would be like do the Coltrane tackles on the locusts, like woohoo. Chuka, 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 chuka. You know? Something like that. Something like that.
It's possible.
I don't know. Something like that.
It's possible. And I also think that going back in time was a good idea because I'm sorry, but, James Phoenix and his crew, they just were not the same as Marcus and his crew.
JD is like the watered down version.
For crying out loud, Gears of War 4, people didn't care about it until Marcus came back. That's when people started caring about the campaign.
Yeah, JD was supposed to be the takeover for the business of killing locusts and all, but the locusts died, and now it's a swarm. And most of the time in Gears 4, you play robots, so.
Yeah. And then Gears 5.
Why is it called the robot Gears of War?
And then, like I said, Gears of 5. That game wouldn't even work when I played it on Game Pass.
You're not missing much. It's just a story about Kate just screaming and hollering and finding out her mysterious mother. That's about it.
Yeah. So like I said, this sounds awesome. This is going to be an origin story. We don't know when it's coming out. We don't know what consoles it'll be for. But for people who have been disappointed with Gears of War recently, the last two entries, I'd say, this game definitely deserves a chance because it's going back in time. They screwed up the future, so let's go back to the past, bring back the characters that people love, and,
Oh, yeah.
it definitely deserves a chance, I'd say.